Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Satriyatama Tristan Suharjono. This morning I want to present about sustainable finance, further discussions at the G20 meeting for Indonesia Pasca-Pandemic recovery, based from G20 Indonesia 2022. So, what is the sustainable finance? The representative from Ministry of Finance in Indonesia say that the SFVG under the G20 plays an important role in promoting and advising the G20 framework and roadmap for innovative and sustainable finance to achieve the goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the Paris Agreement. So, sustainable finance has become a hot topic in all countries as a comprehensive support from the financial service industry for sustainable growth, result from aligning economic, social, and environmental interests. This program is a derivative program of the pillars of the Sustainable Development Goals, which have previously been applied in various aspects of life. Indonesia, since 2012, has started to carry out Sustainable Development Phase 1, based from 2015 till 2019, as an initial step to increase awareness and capacity of the financial service industry to implement environmental, social, and governance aspects and adapt to climate change toward a low carbon economy. Unfortunately, recently, Indonesia and all countries in the world are surviving for the COVID-19 pandemic, which is changing the habits and behavior and hampering almost all aspects of life. One of the obstacles to its implementations is the effort to implement sustainable finance. Before the pandemic hit, the countries in various parts of the world, Indonesia had done a lot of further reviews on this sustainable finance. Many efforts have been mobilized from the government, private sectors, and also community sectors, and also from the product policy and market infrastructures, and also human resources development sectors to transform and seek all forms of industry to lead to environmental improvement in our country. Of course, in terms of creating new economic activities that are more environmentally friendly, these activities must be balanced with establishing financing rules and policies that require environmental protections and also management. Referring to the roadmap published by OJK, the environmental aspect has been included as one of the pillars of sustainable development and recommended further development of the environmental aspects as one of the main pillars equivalent to the economic and social factors. In the main targets and directions of economic development policies, it is also mentioned that the development of food and energy security is a priority for the development of sustainable finance. The Indonesia government has also stated its commitment to the climate change mitigations, among others, and also though the target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 26% with self-financing or up to 41% with international funding support in 5 priority sectors that list in the table below. You can see the table. And from the information obtained in the table above, we can see the above sectors are sectors that are being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. With the pandemic, these sectors experienced various income declines, which became one of the barriers to financing to carry out sustainable finance activities. Moreover, the funds required are not small, as illustrated by the graph below. We know the indicative cost related to the sector's contributions toward the target emissions reduction is needs the cost of investor for the big cost. Therefore, the further review is needed to continue activities leading to sustainable finance implementations in the post-pandemic era. This is the plan to order to overcome planning of sustainable finance before the pandemic hit countries in various parts of the world. Indonesia had done a lot for the planning. This is the term planning from Indonesia's presidential Joko Widodo from 2015 till 2024. In the term of creating new economic activities that are more environmental friendly, these activities must be balanced with establishing financing rules and policies that require environmental protections and management. So, as one is the trope for the overcome this problem, we know one is through the G20 meeting whose peak activities will be held in Bali on November date 15 until 16 November 2022 yesterday. As a G20 presidency, it is undoubtedly an excellent opportunity to make a post-pandemic recovery to follow up on sustainable development programs, especially sustainable finance. The G20 forum is attended by 19 major countries and the European, where the G20 represents more than 60% of the Earth's populations. 25, 75% of international trade and 80% of the world economy. So the members of the G20 consist of South Africa, the United States, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, India, Indonesia, Britain, Italy, Germany, Canada, Mexico, South Korea, Russia, France, China, Turkey, and the European Union, or we known as EU. In the activities of the G20 forum, there are three types of meetings, namely the high level of conference, or we know about KTT summit, which is meeting at the level of the head of state of head of government like president or prime minister, and also both ministerial meetings and deputies meetings with deputy level meetings, where this type of meeting consists of finance minister and also central bank's governor. Meetings attended by Minister of Finance and central bank governors, as well as finance and central bank deputies meetings followed by the deputies. The third meeting is the working groups, where this meeting address specific issues related to the G20 agenda. It is hoped that becoming that president at G20 summit can provide many opportunities for Indonesia to be more assertive in carrying out pandemic recovery, one of which is by rerunning sustainable finance. The G20 meeting will open up many opportunities for Indonesia, such as being an event to show other countries that Indonesia can have a good perception of the country's economic resilience to the crisis amid a pandemic. And also Indonesia can also offer various tourism characteristics that will impact the state's financial income. Having the opportunity to become the main focus of other countries for Indonesia can, at the same time, attract outside investors to contributing funding to various sectors in Indonesia, as discussed in graph 1, last graph 1. Yes, this is graph 1. The presence of investors in Indonesia will greatly help Indonesia recover after the pandemic and support Indonesia to continue its phase 1.2 sustainable finance 2021 till 2025. We hope the investors is want to invest in Indonesia in many sectors. So the literature review for this journal, for this essay, we can imply that Indonesia has need more the investor uh, for growth the economic from many sectors. And from the literature review in this journal, this study is developed and contributes to how sustainable finance affects by using the variables of money sharing, fiscal policy, green banking, and inclusive growth to improve the economy in our country. Although the study in this journal has examined how sustainable finance can increase inclusive growth through various programs, it hasn't been further explained how the government can adjust sustainable finance planning after the COVID-19 pandemic hit. This pandemic has changed behavior and requires a lot of adjustment and attention so that the sustainable finance plan to improve a country's economy continues to run smoothly as a form of a better recovery. The analytical focus on the overall effects of the pandemics on sustainable finance allow for another contributions. While the following journal, there are 8 obstacles in the applications of sustainable finance, namely financial inclusion problems, rules and regulations problems, lack of socialization of sustainable finance, and common perception among related parties. The disclosure of sustainable reports, financial performance problems, and difficulties in balancing social and environmental economic aspects, problems in lending procedures, and technological interventions. So from our discussions, it will be show the potential research questions from the audience, like how can Indonesia's opportunity and role as the G20 presidency help the government efforts to implement sustainable finance as a form of post-pandemic economic recovery, and the potential research gap from all audience maybe can be both of the literature hasn't been further explained how the government can adjust sustainable finance planning after the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is the references that I look from many journal that we can know in Indonesia from our research. And thank you for watching. If any questions, you can comment in the below. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.